What's going on YouTube? It's AKingsCreation again, bringing you guys back another division video. In this video, we're going to go over our top 3 mastery difficulty builds. Now, these builds can be used in any difficulty below it, legendary, heroics, challenging, so on and so on, right? But we are going to showcase our top 3 strongest builds, okay? In each build breakdown, I will have a link to the actual video showcasing some gameplay and the full breakdown of the build I'm showcasing to you in this video, the modifiers that I used during the time that mastery difficulty was out. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these 3 build breakdowns. Okay, so this is the first mastery build that we're going to showcase today. Now, I completed the climax mission for the previous season with this build, which was the pack season. Now we are currently in the mutiny season with the AI companions. Now, that being said, this was the build that I'm using. I'm going to briefly go over it because I have a video link on the top right of your screen that's going to showcase the entire build breakdown again, as well as the mastery difficulty climax clear. Now, we're using the technician specialization with the ACS 12. Now, there is a new version of this that came out for like the veteran status. You can use that one if you want to, but this is the build I had during that time. So we're using the ACS 12 and we use the St. Elmo engine exotic AR, as well as having a TDI card as our backup for extra skill tier. And then we're using 4-piece strikers with a memento, and also we're using the Fenris group chest piece for the extra 10% assault rifle damage. Now, the blue attributes are the protection from elite mods, as you can see is on just these 2, the striker mask as well as the chest piece. For the rest of these, we have blue core for our striker gloves with a critical hit damage attribute. For our knee pads, we have blue core as well as critical hit damage for our attribute as well. And then for our holster, we have a blue core with critical hit chance as our attribute. Now, you guys can see that I have the blue core as well as critical hit chance, critical hit damage for the chest piece. And then as well, I have the red core weapon damage with critical hit damage and protection from elites, like we mentioned before. Now, the main part of this build is the memento backpack because it provides you with 3 cores. You actually have weapon damage, armor, and a skill tier. And we have critical hit chance on this as well. Now, for our skills, we're using the artificial hive. This is going to allow us to recharge our shield when we're taking a lot of damage. With our shield up, it will regenerate the health on it, and you can basically hold it up for a very long time. Now we're using the Crusader shield because we can't use the striker shield. That's only for the firewall specialization. So we're using the Crusader shield instead, and it's going to automatically give us tier 6 because we have 5 blue cores and 1 skill tier. So this is one of the mastery builds that I had used recently for the pack season. And let's go ahead and move on to the other 2. Okay, so now the second mastery build is going to look very similar to the pack season one that we just talked about, because this one is the season right before the pack season. And the only difference that we put for this build is that we use the Eagle Bear. Okay, we use the Eagle Bear a lot because it helped us with its tenacity talent, right? So what the tenacity talent does, let's talk about it. For example, 40 to 80% of the damage taken is delayed until the buff expires. All of the total delayed damage is reduced for each enemy killed while the buff is active, up to 100% with 3 kills. So we were trying to minimize the amount of damage we were taking by using that talent. So like I said, everything else is the same. We've already talked about the ACS 12, the 4-piece strikers. The attributes and the core attribute is still the same for all of these pieces. We also talked about the memento and the chest piece. Now, the only difference here again is the skill. We used a decoy because it was the way the climax mission was going about. We were going through and killing a lot of black tusks, and we needed to use a decoy because we had to stay in certain areas to capture certain points. So we use the decoy to distract a lot of the enemies, so we're not taking a lot of fire. This is a great alternative to the artificial hive. All right, so this is the second build for mastery difficulty that you can use in any other difficulty. Let's go ahead and move on to the third one. All right, so the third and final build I want to mention to you guys that you can use for mastery difficulty. This one is completely different in the sense of not the eagle bear, but other items on this list. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the specialization in steel technician. We're going to use the link laser pointer this time because we're using the king breaker. Now the king breaker is going to come with the link laser pointer. What this is going to allow us to do is whenever we aim with the king breaker, we're going to activate our talent for it. The king breaker comes with perfect flatline, amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse enemies, and when you are aiming down your sight with the link laser pointer, you're automatically pulsing enemies. So this is an automatic 20% weapon damage buff, right? Okay, so we already know we're still using the eagle bear. That hasn't changed. The striker mask has changed a little bit. We're definitely going all red. We got weapon damage as our core, critical hit damage and critical hit chance. Now we are using the ninja bike bag, not the memento this time. This one still comes with all 3 core attributes, and this time we're using protection from elite. So now we have 2 protection from elites. From instead of the mask, we're having it with our ninja bike bag and also our chest piece still. Now you could still use it for the mask, but then you'll lose that extra damage or chance, right? We're going with all red with the striker set completely. We got striker glove with all red, and we have critical hit chance on it, and this one has critical hit chance on the knee pads. Now this time we're using the Bakaro's holster because we want repair skills. This is going to boost our artificial hive when it repairs our shield. Now it comes with 10% weapon damage. It used to be 15% back in the day, but they changed it to 10%. They nerfed it. It is what it is. So it comes with 10% skill haze and an extra skill tier. So that is pretty much the setup. We still have the artificial hive on tier 4, and then we got tier 6 crusader. Okay, so we're getting that extra buff now with this build, particularly because of the Bakaro's holster repair skills at 20%. So that is the full build. We're also using the EMP grenade, but we rarely use it, but it is part of this build, so I wanted to mention it. So those are all 3 mastery difficulty builds that I used to complete all of the previous 3 mastery climax missions that came out. I probably will take this build particularly, not this one, but I will take one of these 3 builds into the next mastery, and I will update it because there are going to be new exotic shotguns that come out, or shotguns in general, that are going to help build up stacks faster with the new season. So if you guys enjoyed all 3 of these builds, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.